Good afternoon, folks. Chief Meteorologist Nick Lilia here with a look at your tropical update for June 27th of 2019. Brought to you by the good folks at Pine Belt Gutters. I will say that, the last couple of days we've been talking about things getting perhaps a little more active in the tropics. Not crazy active, not imminent danger active, just more stuff. That trend actually continues as we head through the next couple of days. Temperatures in the 80s across parts of the Gulf of Mexico for your sea surface temperatures. Into the 80s, into the Caribbean, out into the open Atlantic as well. In fact, we're starting to see 80s where there were upper 70s just a couple weeks ago out into the open Atlantic off to the east of the greater and lesser Antilles. What does that mean for the weather? Well, not much quite yet. The response to warmer sea surface temperatures, thank goodness, isn't something that happens overnight. We've got, clusters of clouds out into the Gulf of Mexico, but generally nice and quiet out into the open Atlantic. Still looking into the Caribbean at a fair amount of shear. We've got a lot of Saharan dust and dry air floating across the Atlantic. That's really helping us out too. This is kind of neat. You can see a little line of cloud cover in here. We'll run this back one more time. The shear, you get a little ridge in here, and then it kind of troughs back off to the west and or off to the east and southeast. Got a couple of waves coming off the coast of Africa. Kind of surprised that this one's holding together so well. We'll have to keep tabs on this, but this is just the beginning. Of course, as we march our way through hurricane season, we'll start to look out here a little more, but for now it's probably just a little too early in the year. Into the Gulf of Mexico, we've got a little curlicue spinning around on the backside of a ridge of high pressure that's forming over the top of the southeast. We'll watch this to increase the rain chances across the area on Friday and into Saturday for parts of the southeast, but you see this grayed out area that's out here. All of this gray is dry air, probably filled with some Saharan dust, and that takes up most of the open Atlantic, and it just gets kind of oozed into the Caribbean and into the Gulf of Mexico as we head through the beginning of July. I will say this, you see this little dot in here, that is 2 waves from now, and that's computer models picking up on not that first one that I just showed you. In fact, let me go back. Not this one here, and not that one there. Now we'll go back to the modeling, right, because the first one is right here. The second one is actually back in behind it. It's the one back in behind that, right there. It's barely on your screen here that we'll have to keep tabs on as we hit. Oh, no, it wasn't even that one. Excuse me. It's the one behind that. That's the one right there that crosses over the Cape Verde Islands that we're going to have to keep tabs on. This is as we head through the kind of 4th of July. A lot of dry air out here, but what this may do is it may actually roll off the coast of Africa back in behind a lot of that dry air. Again, nothing imminent here. This is one computer model. However, I will say it does march its way across, eventually gets eaten up by a lot of the dry air that's out here. But it does actually get off the coast and it's able to sustain itself, according to the computer models at least, despite the fact that the sea surface temperature is not too terribly high as of right now. Maybe an early indicator that as we head through the month of July, temperatures out there may be actually warm enough to sustain things despite what we may be seeing right now. That said, though, that's your tropical update for June 27th of 2019. Thankfully, nothing imminent. Again, things a little more active, but that's normal this time of the year. Nothing imminent happening right now. And again, like always, your tropical update here brought to you by the good folks at Pine Belt Gutters.